Hello everyone and welcome back to Kali Call of Darkness episode 10 from season 1. Last episode ended I would say tragically. I got no words to express what happened. I really did not expect for Mr. Rose to die, to get sacrificed, and that's horrible. I'm intrigued to know what will happen now because he was the team leader. Why would he be involved in one of the sacrifices? Was he close to getting another clue? And that's when he got surprised by those who performed those rituals? Or because, I don't know, perhaps Kali saw how he was treating us through our eyes as well, and that's why she decided to kill him for us. You know what I mean? I made some sort of illusion last episode where it's possible that we can see through Kali's eyes. That's why we are capable to see all of these ritual murders in our dreams, and perhaps she can see through our eyes as well. Oh well, let's see what happens. Amala, Lima, and KILLIAN investigate the murder of Mr. Rose. The future of the work in Calcutta is in jeopardy. That's so... oh my god. Episode 10. A Gathering of Shadows. Warning, this chapter contains description of corpses and murder. Please read on with caution. Like I said, for those who can't read it, please scroll to a safer spot. It smelled of dampness and trash. Great. I wrinkled my nose, waiting for them to let us through. I felt tired. The panic that seized me an hour ago snapped the last of my strength. I was overcome with fear when I found out that our team leader had been brutally murdered. We went straight to the crime scene. KILLIAN warned me that we were heading to the Calcutta slums, so I needed to change. Honestly, I would wear this. I wouldn't wear this. That's pretty, but why would I wear this? I would wear this, honestly, now. In real life, I would wear this. Why do I have to dress so fancy when I'm investigating a murder? My fear was now replaced by anxiety and fatigue. Deep down, I knew that Amir would not be the last victim. But for our team leader to become one? I think he should have taken me seriously. It was payback for his terrible temper. No one deserves a death like this. Like I said, my first reaction was it was payback for his terrible temper. Not those exact words, but a minute later or so, I already apologized because no one deserves a death like this. No one deserves a death like this. Rage of Goddess. Why Rage of Goddess, girl? Rose may not have been the kindest person in the world, but even he didn't deserve such a fate. It's too cruel. No one deserves to be sacrificed. You feel sorry for Mr. Rose. I've got a heart. I don't want anyone to suffer. He may have not been the kindest person, but he still didn't deserve to die. He could have changed. I believe in second chances. And I believe in giving someone the benefit of the doubt. He could have changed. But not being murdered because he's not treating us respectfully. I pulled myself together. We still had to see his body. Oh, sorry, letting us through. Miss Gunn, Miss Burke, if you feel sick, let me know right away. It's not a pretty sight. Captain Lightwood, I appreciate you trying to protect us, but the worst has already happened. My colleagues looked upset and confused. They felt sorry for Mr. Rose, but at the same time they were scared. After all, one of us had been killed. This meant that the person behind the ritual sacrifices got very close to us. Captain Lightwood, have you seen him yet? Yes, I wanted to make sure that it was really Emmett Rose. Wasn't he decapitated? How did you know it was him? When headed to the alley where the crime happened, KILLIAN, grim as ever, replied, I've known Emmett for a long time. He has a noticeable scar on his chest. And you'll remember that the corpses are left naked. On top of everything else, he never came back to the hotel last night. I see. Anyway, the local expert must have checked his fingerprints by now. I took a deep breath before entering the alley. The first person I saw was Ratan Vaish. He was standing next to the crime scene waiting for us. His face, smooth and calm, was devoid of any emotion. Like I said, I keep on thinking that it's Ratan. Because we saw that he was not having it the way that Mr. Rose was speaking to us. He always remained silent. And he didn't think it was necessary to look through the medical reports like us. Like, he didn't think of translating that. When he saw me, he relaxed a little and his gaze warmed up. I've got a feeling that he's a Leifton. Like he's doing all those horrible things just to protect us, you know. Miss Gunn, Miss Burke, Captain Lightwood, you are here. Ratan stepped aside, revealing the whole scene to us. The naked and decapitated corpse was leaning against the wall just like the previous times. The corpse's grey skin was smeared with mud and sprinkled with blood. There was a noticeable scar across his chest, just as KILLIAN had mentioned. We're not having it. We're sad. Same, girl. Get upset and turn away. Calm down and get to work. Express your feelings of regret. I mean, I feel bad. Like I said, it was not okay what he did. And I'm a feminist, of course. I'm a woman. And I was not having it last episode. And I also expressed that. But I didn't wish for him to die. Like, the comment I made about that being karma was not well placed. Like, it was a horrible thing. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, no one deserves to be decapitated. Honestly, no one deserves to suffer. No one deserves to be sacrificed in a blood ritual. Like, literally, all those victims have suffered. They were tortured before they were sacrificed. Like, no one deserves such an atrocious death. Express your feelings of regret. I sighed heavily, but I didn't look away. Respect, okay? I feel sorry for him. He was our colleague. This is so brutal and scary. I feel sick. Or find it difficult to look at him. Just step away. Shaking my head, I clenched my hands into fists. No, I'm fine. I can handle it. I have to. Loyalty, okay. Meanwhile, Lima was examining the body. We have to. It was our colleague. Everything is exactly the same as in the previous case. The blood-painted symbol, the decapitation, a naked, mutilated body. I don't understand. Are the victims tortured? Why are they all beaten up? They're sacrificed, but this doesn't normally include severe beating. Like I said, I really have the feeling that it's Vaish, because we saw the expression he had on the table when Mr. Rose was talking so badly to us. He was not having it. The killer is a mentally ill person. We can't guess their interpretation of religion. Now let's see Vaish's expression. Probably he somehow justifies his desire to hurt the victim to torture them. Maybe he thinks that, I don't know, the goddess Kali wants this. But that's nonsense. Sacrifice doesn't require suffering. Blood, death, yes, but not pain. That's why I'm telling you not to rely on the killer's common sense. He's sick. Most likely the Kaulak Shaktism that he follows is completely different from the real thing. More violent, a bit for massacre and pain, and with no ethics behind it. I think you're right. In that case, our killer is just a monster justifying his cruelty with faith. With faith. KILLIAN rubbed the bridge of his nose. It was clear that today was not an easy day for him. He knew him for a long time. They may have not been best friends, but sooner or later you gain some respect for each other. And since he wasn't treated with sexism by Mr. Rose, I don't think that they had that much of a problem. They both were, I mean, Killian is still alive, so, but in general, Mr. Rose and Killian both are respectable men. They love to get their job done and they want to do it well. So they only like to focus on that, and they want to do everything by the book, like everything perfectly without any wrong thing, without any errors. So I guess they respected each other. Let's get this inspection done as quickly as we can. He has known Rose for longer than we have. They may have even been friendly. I would silently touch his hand. I mean, he was there for us, and we were there for him. I didn't say anything. My words could hardly help Killian. Taking a step closer, I turned my gaze to the brown symbol painted on the wall. No one noticed my fingers brushing over Killian's palm. I squeezed his hand silently, trying to support him in the way I thought he needed. He didn't push me away. He squeezed my hand back for a moment, then he pulled away. Killian appreciates your support. Aw. Squatting down in front of the corpse, Killian began to examine it. Lima started to reason out loud. The killer left the body in the Calcutta slums. I don't think he wanted to attract attention like the previous time. The merchant's body was dumped in a crowded place near our embassy. But Rose, who's directly connected with the embassy, was left much further away. It sounds like it was done on purpose. Yes, I'm sure of that. Take a look at this. We all came up to Killian, who was pointing at the corpse's open palm. I looked at Rose's dirty, half-clenched fingers, which seemed frozen in the agony of death. There was a symbol burned into his skin. What is this? A strange symbol, That's some kind of symbol. I may be wrong, but I think it's Brahim script. Could you elaborate a little? It's an ancient Indian writing system, used before our times. So the killer left us a message? I'm not sure about the meaning of the symbol, but why did he mark only the fourth corpse? I felt a strange urge to touch Mr. Rose's cold hand. Are we gonna do it? Perhaps we're gonna get a vision. Who knows? Overcome your revulsion and do it. When my fingers grazed his gray skin, a shiver ran through my body. My colleagues looked at me surprised. At first I thought I was just disgusted, but then everything became blurry, although I was still sitting straight. This feeling has become way too familiar by now. Another vision flashed before my eye. I knew it. Oh, can we see what happened to him? The air was humid and heavy, but cooler than during the day. He was alone in the alley until he heard the faint sounds of footsteps behind him. Emmett Rose had only enough time to turn around. Several pairs of hands grabbed hold of him, and someone covered his mouth. Fingers squeezed his neck so hard that everything went dark. He fought back, but there was no chance to escape. Sinner, sinner. Your very existence is a catalyst for heresy. For those were the last words Emmett heard before sinking into darkness. My eyes opened wide. I was sitting in the same position in the same place. My colleagues were still looking at me bewildered. Amala? I shook my head, trying to come to my senses. It felt like I had spaced out for at least a few minutes, but in fact only a few seconds had passed. I'm fine, I was just thinking. It's getting harder and harder to come up with excuses. I just don't think I should share everything with my colleagues just yet. What did they mean? A sinner? Heresy? This information will prove useful in the future. Okay. Right now we have a lot of things to think about. What should we do next? The guide appeared next to us and spoke up. All we can do now is wait, Miss Berg, but we'd better leave the slums. I agree. We'll read the forensic and criminological reports when they're ready. I suggest we go back to the embassy and discuss everything. And so we did. It was cool and quiet in the hall. Mr. Rose's unusual seat was empty. I felt uneasy. To see his unoccupied chair, knowing that he would never be there again, Lima, Ratan, and Killian sat down. I don't know what will become of our task force now. Do you think they will disband us? Send us home? KILLIAN stood up with a brief shrug. He started pacing back and forth. I don't know. Our team leader has been killed, and we're all clearly in danger. Maybe someone really doesn't want us to be here. I would love to say then that means that we have to keep digging, but at the other time, I don't want to die, so. But I honestly think the more they stay here, the more we get these visions. So we'll just leave things like that. Like, we have to get justice. Justice, not killing everyone and everything, but justice. Why was he sacrificed? By whom? And what for? Just because you're mad? Like, why? Why does no one want to investigate those murders? Those murders that are blood sacrifices for the great Kali. Why does no one want our group to look for them? Like, to find the person behind it all? Why? I've already contacted headquarters and reported the latest news. They will let us know their instructions. Voice your thoughts directly, carefully draw your conclusion, clearly state the diplomat was killed. Voice your thoughts directly. I think I would like to be direct because I am, but right now we are all a little vulnerable, I would say, a little shocked. So I would say carefully draw your conclusion. Our job was to find the diplomat, but maybe there's no one left to find? We all guessed this a long time ago, right? Like Mr. Rose Hayes came here on diplomatic business and even stayed at the same hotel. I pursed my lips and shook my head. I think he suffered the same fate as Emmett Rose. Loyalty, okay. I've already told you, we can't leave until we know for sure. Even if all is left are his remains, we need to see them. But how will you know that these are his remains, sir? Each victim had some kind of troubled past, some kind of secret. It's a pattern. But what was Mr. Rose's secret? Besides that, he was not very friendly with us. I doubt he murdered people. I looked at KILLIAN. He averted my gaze. He's keeping silent even if he knew our team leader well. Is he hiding something? Rata and Vaish joined the conversation. Tell me something, Vaish. I think you need to appoint a new team leader. Who should I report to? Yes, you're right. We have to make this decision now. Everyone looked at each other. Shouldn't London be making this decision? Isn't such an important it's such an important position? Under normal circumstances, yes. They might even send someone to replace Rose. But we need to decide who will lead the investigation in the meantime. I would say you. And that's for us to decide, not the higher-ups. We need someone who's really interested in solving this mystery, not someone just waiting to get it over and done with. KILLIAN used to say that he wanted to be done with this Calcutta case as soon as possible. How things change. Path of high respect, okay. I think we have two options, Amala or me. Why me? What? Me? Do you think I'd be suited for this role? Certainly. You're smart and determined. You can be tough at the right time, and you know how to get your point across. Aww. We've seen you in action. You're good. KILLIAN. But I actually still think you should be doing it, because while we are off spacing out because of our powers, you can you can be by our side. Like, he can look out for clues better than we can. He has more experience. It doesn't mean that we are not good, but perhaps he can see things that we can't. Like, why can't we... Honestly, why can't they all be team leaders, you know? Give everyone the same responsibility. You know, they all have the responsibility to close this case. Why not everyone get the role that everyone can or has to say something to everyone? Like, they all have to work together, so why not all be the team leaders? Like, you all have to report to one another either way, so just be all the team leaders. Lima, what do you think about it? She smiled. I would be equally comfortable working under either of you. I respect you both. Oh, Lima, I can become the head of our task force. How is it even possible? I'm very excited. Should I put myself forward? Yes, I want to lead. No. Honestly, I wouldn't want to lead. But I have the feeling that I should. I have the feeling I'm gonna regret this. I'm pretty sure there's gonna come a romantic option or something in this episode, and then I'm gonna have to buy gyms anyways. Oh god. Yes, I want to lead. I would like to put myself forward for this job. I know I'm inexperienced and many things are new to me, but I'm ready to try my best and work hard to solve this case. I have an inquisitive mind, and I'm resourceful, and I'm interested in us getting good results. I also respect my colleagues and listen to them. I don't mind if you're in charge, KILLIAN, but I would also like to express my interest in this position. KILLIAN thought about it for a while. Lima was silent and waiting for the final decision. I like you, Mala, and I would believe that you would do well. I would be glad to report to you. I never wanted to lead anyone. All I care about is doing my job well. I've been often ordered to lead various teams in the past, but this time I'm free to choose. At least until London gets back to me. And I'm choosing you, Mala. Oh, this can also mean something else. I know you will do well. So from now on, you're our team leader. Aww. You are the new leader of the task force. Oh, how kind of you. I only had to pay. I can't believe this is happening. No worries, I'm going to help you. It's always easier to work with someone, and I'll also feel more at ease. Aww, good. To respect, okay. Ratan smiled, looking at me. So it's decided? Yes, we've got that sorted out. I will discuss everything with Lon and myself. In that case, can we finish here? The only thing left is to wait for the lab results. Lima hesitated, looking at all of us. With a trace of awkwardness in her voice, she asked, Everyone, how about we all go back to the hotel together? Just sit in a room and think about everything. I don't really want to be alone right now. Oh, Lima. Spending time together? Agree. Use work as an excuse. Agree and invite Ratan. Sure, he can come. Yes, I'll be glad to keep you company. I'm scared and sad because of what happened. Mr. Vaish, will you join us? It wouldn't hurt for us to get to know him better. Thank you for the invitation, Amala. I'll be glad to. Aww. Ratan is glad you invited him. You're also growing closer to KILLIAN and Lima. Let's go. Together, the four of us went to the hotel. If we get the opportunity, let's do something with them. After a short while, we settled in Lima's room. She stretched and tiredly massaged her neck. It's so good to be in a cool, fresh room again. KILLIAN collapsed on the sofa, stretching out his legs. He looked lost in thought today. Ratan was looking out the window, his hands clasped behind his back. Not to seem rude, guys, but I'd like a drink. No, sir, get a drink something. I actually really need one right now. Lima and I exchanged glances. I need one too. Scotch? Good choice. You know what? Yes, please. Let's honor the memory of our team leader. This is all very hard. Fine, I'll grab the bottle of scotch. I would have gone with gin, but that's fine. Lima got down to business. I sat down on the couch next to Killian. Ratan sank into a chair. Killian sighed.
I can't believe this happened. He was mutilated. This is some insane level of inhuman cruelty.
I don't think they will let us go home. We have unfinished business here now. Then let's try and be friends from now on, not just colleagues. It will be easier for us to work together that way. No one objected. We had a grueling job ahead of us, and it would have been inconvenient to keep up any formalities. Lima brought out the scotch. Everyone who decided to drink poured themselves a glass and got comfortable. Yet there was not a hint of happiness or camaraderie in that gesture. The air in the room was heavy, filled with anxiety. I took a few sips. It warmed my throat and left a mellow aftertaste on my tongue. I wish I could do something to lighten the mood, at least for a little while. The situation here in Calcutta is getting worse and worse. Killian didn't say anything when Lima suggested that Mr. Rose might have also been hiding a dark secret. Would it be appropriate to ask him about it now? I wouldn't do that. I mean, it would be beneficial for us, but I don't think in the state he is right now that he would answer us, if I'm being honest. Remind Lima about it. I will bring up the topic so Lima might ask him about everything herself. Lima, do you remember what you said at the crime scene? About the dark secrets that each victim had? Yes, I remember, and I keep wondering what Rose's secret might have been. Killian silently took a sip of scotch. Killian, didn't you know him better than we did? Maybe you know something? The attaché leaned back on the sofa. It was obvious that he wasn't keen on talking about it, see?
Yes, I know him well, but I'm not sure if we should bring up the past.
But it might help us complete the picture.
I'm worried your opinion of me might change if I tell you. Emmett and I bonded during disgraceful times.
Passive loyalty. How can we talk to him into sharing this with us? Does he really think we'll look down on him? Yes, Killian, we won't think badly of you. And respect one, yes. Whatever happened in the past has nothing to do with who you are right now. This information may help the investigation, and we will still respect you just as much as we do now. Do you understand what I'm saying? Killian looked at me for a few moments, his expression softened. You know the problem here? You can ask someone about sharing it, and they say, yeah, you're gonna think differently of me. And you can try to tell them that it's not like that, but you can't predict your reaction, okay? Depending on what they say, it could make you feel different. And the fact that he's now saying, okay, fine, I'm gonna tell you, that just shows the faith he has in us.
Yes, fine, I'll tell you, but the story isn't a pretty one.
You managed to convince Killian on your own. Let's go.
Many would judge me, though, if they could see what happened in my past. And rightly so. I've done terrible things. I'd be surprised if your attitude toward me really doesn't change, because sometimes I hate myself.
Killian, what happened? Killian downed the rest of his drink in one gulp, apparently gathering his thoughts. He was silent for a few moments and asked,
Do you want to know every little disgusting detail, or should I just give you a summary?
I am done. You know what? It's crucial to find out all the details, but it's clearly unpleasant for him to remember. I want to hear the whole story. You know what? Be brief. I'm done paying so many gyms. Let's be honest, sooner or later I'm gonna pay for them either way, but
right now. I'm so tired. If the story is unpleasant for you to recall, then skip the details. I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. Fine, thanks. It was 7 years ago, in 1973. Okay. I remember. We played this in 1980 in Derry. Ireland? Yes. Do you remember Bloody Sunday in Bogside when those peaceful protesters got shot? There were people who benefited from the conflict in Northern Ireland. I was only 23. Oh, he's 30 now. Young, stupid, penniless, but in good physical shape. I became part of a secretly organized group. We carried out various missions on behalf of some people who guided us from the shadows. Simply put, I was a mercenary. Ooh! And I did a lot of dirty work for money and to benefit those who were paying me. Emmett Rose was doing the same thing. We quickly found common ground. But our squads were quickly wiped out one by one. I wanted to escape, but those who tried and were caught were severely punished. Their heads were thrown at our feet to show us what happened to traitors. Rose managed to escape and offered to help me. I was desperate because I was constantly on the brink of death. I had fallen in so deep that it would have been hard for anyone to get as low as I was, even if one tried. But in the end, they really helped me, pulled me out of that ditch. They cleaned up after me. They found a place to apply my skills and gave me a job. That's how my career started. I owe a lot to Rose and the British government. That's why work comes first for me. You and Rose were mercenaries? Is this his dark secret? The fact that he was a man without principles who did despicable work for money? Yes, and he was able to pull himself out of the mud into a normal life, like a bloody modern-day Munchausen. I didn't know how Killian found the courage to share his secret with us. Was it because he was scared after Rose's death, or did the Scotch loosen his tongue? But I was impressed. Thank you for sharing this with us. I can't imagine what you had to go through. And I understand how much his death must have shaken you up. Killian smiled sadly. Thank you. You are getting closer. Aww. If this is the reason why Rose was killed, then a question arises. He was under the protection of the government. Not many people knew about his past. Who had access to this classified information? Vaish. Want to say Vaish? The room went quiet. The Scotch was quickly going to my head. My thoughts were muddled. Guys, I'm not feeling too well. It's been a terrible day. I think I'll go home. Everyone said goodbye. Lima stayed in her room and we went out into the corridor. It was nice to spend some time with you. It was good to relax after such a difficult day. Amala, where are you, Red? Oh, right, he's drunk. Let me stop. Killian suddenly called out to me before I was about to leave. Can we talk for a moment in private? I nodded. Ratan didn't say anything and left us. Killian took me to a secluded corner. Let me guess, I have to pay against something. We remained in silence for a few moments, then Killian suddenly spoke up. This morning made everything clear, right? Did you finally realize how important it is for you to be careful? Do you remember my words? I just raised my eyebrows in surprise. His words were completely unexpected. What are you talking about? Tense and annoyed, Killian replied. My point is stay closer to me, don't wander off, and don't think that you can handle anything. This is not a joke. Someone is watching us. By killing one of us, he clearly asserted his dominance. I can't believe you're at it again. Didn't we agree on this already? You promised not to cuddle me. Killian clenched his jaw. I'm not. I'm just asking you to stay closer to me, damn it. Ooh! Path of loyalty. Please don't be silly. I can't be by your side all the time. I need protection, sure, but not constantly. You do, when you're not home. Be reasonable. This will get in the way of the investigation. Do you think I'm going to slow you down? No, I don't think that. I sighed, clasping my hands. Oh, they're already fighting like a couple. There are things that are easier for me to do if I am on my own. Like what? Like my trip to the National Library. It's easier to meet new people when they're not being stared at with a heavy gaze from behind my back. So my answer is no. Killian looked at me for a few moments as if thinking about something. He curled his lips slightly. In that case, we shouldn't continue our relationship. Ooh, Calcutta is really not a very suitable place. What? I don't want to live on pins and needles each day worrying about you. Worrying and thinking about where you are and whether you are fine. Oh, Killian, you're free to do whatever you want, but without me. I've already told you that work is the most important thing for me right now, and now you know why. Getting results, that's what's most important. I can't focus on any of it when I'm worried about you. Look at this! I can't believe he's saying that. Suggest a compromise, give up. I am done with this episode. So many gems. Suggest a compromise. No, I want to know why you wanted me to spend 50 gems for this. No, I won't let all this shit ruin my relationship with the person I like. Now listen to me. I'll try to stay as close to you as possible. But if I have my own things to do, then I'll leave. Alone. Amala. Killian, you can expect me to go along with this completely. So what the fuck do you want from me? Damn! You want me to say, sure, Amala, go wherever you want looking for trouble? He knows that we have feelings for this beautiful Amiti or whatever his name is, I forgot. Killian came closer to me, looking down intently, sternly. Why are you being so stubborn and even worse, so careless? Why are you fighting this? I've been protecting myself just fine all my life. He pulled me closer a little roughly, and then he wrapped me in a strong and warm embrace. Surprised I didn't move, but it was hard not to respond to his tenderness. No, please let me do this. Let me protect you. Let's not fight about this. That's all you're waiting for. Killian threaded his fingers through my hair, planting a kiss on my temple, then pulled me closer. What I saw today terrified me. It made me realize that we are all vulnerable, and you too. I can be particularly boring and overprotective, but I don't have bad intentions. I just want to keep you safe. Oh, Killian, because that's obviously not what you're trying to do. I buried my face in his shoulder. Killian's steady heartbeat calmed me down. I understand. He leaned closer, looking into my eyes. Time stopped for both of us. I don't know why, but I want to kiss you. Now. Despite everything, I wanted to feel his touch. I stood on tiptoe, allowing Killian to do what he wanted. I felt his hot breath on my skin, and then his soft lips covered mine. A whirlwind of emotions carried us away, anger and pleasure blending into one, the bitterness of a fight and the sweetness of a kiss. Killian's hands were big and strong, but he touched me carefully, gently. He pulled away for a moment. Of all the women in the world, why did I choose the most annoying and stubborn? Oh! You like that about me, even if you won't admit it. I'm not kidding, Amala. Don't be silly and don't think yourself invincible. Stay close to me. I can handle this, and I want to protect you. Oh, Killian. You want to be together despite the circumstances. Without saying anything, I hugged him. I wanted to spend a little more time together, not thinking about what we had to deal with. As I found myself in a crowded part of the hotel, I suddenly caught a few snippets of conversation. Found in the slums, decapitated, can you imagine? Everyone in Calcutta is talking about it. Feeling a light touch on my shoulder, I turned around. Rata and Vaish appeared behind me. Amala, it would be better if I walked you home. No worries, I'll take a taxi. Let me walk you to the taxi at least. I'd like to talk to you. I looked at the guide, who was usually a man of a very few words. I see no reason to refuse. I let him accompany me. We walked on together. Like I said, this man is giving me some sus vibes. I don't want to sound obvious, but it's indeed getting more dangerous out there. You need to stay close to your colleagues and be vigilant. Shadows are gathering in Calcutta. Your main focus should be on not finding yourself in the epicenter of it.
What are you talking about?
I'm just warning you, asking you to be on alert. The guide's voice was flat, and his face was motionless like a mask. His features handsome, elegant, but it was impossible to guess his true feelings and the intentions hidden behind his dark eyes. He's a little strange, mysterious even. I will try to avoid being alone, thank you. Otherwise, Killian will go crazy and start lecturing me again about how reckless I am. That's not all I'm asking for. Please don't ignore your feelings and intuition. That will help you a lot.
Are you talking about yourself, Ratan? I don't understand.
You'll understand when the time comes.
There was a strange tension inside me. I looked sideways at Ratan.
How do you know that?
I'm not myself after what I saw this morning. Be more specific, please.
I've been watching you closely, and I can guess what's bothering you. If I were you, I wouldn't neglect the abilities bestowed upon you. You know what I mean. If I want to flee from here, do it. And if you're ready to stay, then stay and accept the consequences. Calcutta quickly teaches you that the world is far more complicated than you think.
Yikes. I'm sure he's talking about my visions. Ratan bowed slightly, as he usually did before saying goodbye.
Take care.
He went in the opposite direction. Pondering over his words, I walked slowly to the taxi. Uh-oh. Finally, I was nearly home. Hungry and exhausted, I just wanted to quickly have dinner, wash up, and fall asleep. A couple of children ran past me in the street, almost knocking me down. They were chattering about something.
We already played everywhere. Boring.
You're annoying. Where else can we go? Mom said we can only play in our street.
I want to go to another street. I want.
Stop yelling, Padama. I'm older, so I decide. Mom will get mad if she finds out. She's in a bad mood today. She's worried about us.
I approached the fence to enter the yard.
We won't go to the murder street. Let's go to another one, please, Raj.
Oh, God, girl. That little and already so adventurous girl. I froze. Even the children are talking about it.
Are you stupid?
Ooh!
They can kill you whenever they want. Do you think evil people only walk on one street?
That, Raj!
That's not true. Dad said that there were evil people in Mom's village, so she moved to a good place.
Shut up, Padama. Ooh! Mom will cry if she hears you.
I was watching them. The girl crouched down and started drawing something on the ground with a stick, singing to herself. Leave. We're leaving. It would be silly to waste my time on children who can blurt out anything. Actually, that's a lie. If you want the truth, always go to the children, because they're the biggest gossips ever. I'd better go home and rest. I've had enough for today. Sometime later, I was sitting at the table with my hosts having dinner. They were discussing the plans for Sana's wedding, since that was the main thing going on in the house. I didn't join in the conversation. I was just mindlessly pushing my food around my plate, lost in thought. Ratan warned me about something dangerous. Sana did too, and much earlier. One of us has been killed, and we're at loss as to what to do next. The three of us are stuck here, and the killer is literally breathing down our necks. What village were the children talking about? And what does Ratan have to do with the situation? I realized that my endless questions were weighing on me. If I didn't find any answers, all of us were going to be in danger. On top of everything else, I was tormented by those strange visions. I had a dream about Rose right before hearing the news of his murder. I bet that wasn't just a nightmare. No, I think that you saw through Kali's eyes. At some point, the feeling of impending doom washed over me, and I had no idea how to escape it. Well, you look at that. We're starting to get the rage of the goddess. Let me stop. Okay, 12 independence points. Okay, girl. 18 respect. and 20 loyalty. Oh my god, look at this. In this episode, I gained a 4 loyalty and 4 respect points. Look at this. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. Well, but anyways, that was this episode. And oh my god, the story keeps on getting more and more intense, I would say. I think Ratan is finally letting down his facade. I'm still a little confused about him, to be honest. From one side, I think that he's a bad guy, and from the other side, I believe that he knows more than he leads on, and he volunteered to be part of this group to help us so that we don't find out things that he doesn't want us to find out. So this is gonna be pretty interesting. So that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best, and I will see you in a next episode. Bye.